So amazing how you came and shed your light on cloudy days, and you remain the same, and I'm glad that you came down, 'cause I'm saved. So amazing how you came and shed your light on cloudy days, and you remain the same, and I'm glad that you came down, 'cause I'm saved.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Our Journey Alive. We are so excited that you are joining us again today on a beautiful Monday to talk about something that is intertwined with a lot of what we've been dealing with these last few weeks, but this is something that was posted and we got a large response about immediately. It was over 25 comments instantly about this subject, why relationships fail. And so we posted it because we wanted to get people's perception on why they felt they failed. Not necessarily statistically we can go and look at, the top 10 reasons why relationships fail and then compare it to what people are saying, and that list doesn't mesh up, which is amazing. The top 3 things probably that I thought most people would say, or the top 3 things that I really thought were the reason for divorces, weren't the case. So what we're going to do is just talk a little bit about what we think, why we think relationships fail. Then we'll read some comments from Facebook and from Instagram from some of our listeners and what they felt. And then we'll kind of go to actually statistically what they say of why relationships fail. So first and foremost, ladies, what do you think some of the top 3 reasons relationships fail?
Infidelity, number 1.
I agree.
Okay, so you think infidelity.
Communication.
Okay.
Communication.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. So we had infidelity.
Yeah.
And we had communication, correct?
Right.
So let's look at, and I'm going to go to what some people said. I'm going to go to what some people said, that how they felt the top reasons relationships fail. So again, we posed this question on Facebook, and again, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our YouTube channel at Our Journey Alive. Please feel free to send, if there's certain topics that you want us to get out and hash out on, or if you feel that you could be a guest or have a service or product that you'd like us to talk about on the show, please hit us up via email at ourjourneyalive@gmail.com, and we'd be happy to explore some of those things with you. So, okay, why do relationships fail? And like I said before, we had plenty of people that chimed in on this very real subject, primarily because there's such a negative depiction on marriage even, with the divorce rate at about 50% of people that get married get divorced. And so what we tend to do is really focus on the divorce piece, but we don't focus on, okay, well, there's over 51% of people that stay married. And not to say that they're all in happy marriages, but they're married. So we're going to end up looking at the marriage portion on another show. But here's some of the feedback that you all gave as your reasons why relationships fail. Okay, so the first comment we got was from Eric, and he said no trust. And so Talia in Atlanta, lack of communication. Another comment, no communication. Honesty, lack of communication, poor communication. Another person said finances, trust issues, and cheating, which goes to kind of both of what you all said. Another person said lack of trust, baby mama drama, and communication, and then finances. No relationship with God. I only had one. I had 2 people, and that was it really, that talked about the spiritual connection, but no relationship with God, or not having God as the number 1 priority, not equally yoked. But the primary...
we just know. I ain't over here worshiping the devil.
Well, I mean, I think even if you don't worship the devil, if you don't have an active relationship with God, there's a difference. So you may love God and believe God, but you're not actively in a relationship with him. So I think
gotcha.
when they're pointing that out, I think they mean more of the spiritual nature of YouTube.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Finance and romance. I only had one person talk about the romance of the relationship. Somebody put, which I thought was different, they put comparison. And we're going to dig into that in a little bit, but their reason they felt number one reason relationships fail was comparison. And then, of course, we had a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. That really get kind of nerve-wracking.
Yeah, but a lot of people put communication, then it was trust, then it was infidelity, then it was money. So those tended to be the main keys. Now, this is in Psychology Today, which we'll be posting this link as well on our Facebook page. Talks about the top 4 reasons that relationships fail. The first one was selfishness and unbalanced ties and narcissism. Basically, I think that is when you're focused on your own needs and not thinking about others and the important decisions that it takes for like day-to-day work. So, for example, if you don't do your fair share of housework or child care, your partner starts to build resentment or they feel uncared for. So that piece of things, and then unbalanced, so that if you have extended family, that's always a priority over your partner. Or church is always a priority over your partner. Or your kids are always a priority over your partner. That builds a divide within the relationship. So another, this is the top 4. The second reason was not making the relationship a priority. Here we go again about everything is about you, your dreams.
I was just going to say needy people.
Right. Needy people, and you're not needing your partner because it's all about you. And then the third thing that they had on here was angry outbursts and rage. Arguments that get resolved in controlled expressions of anger are normal parts of a healthy relationship. But screaming at your partner, these cycles of fighting or not resolving it, the chronic stress behind that can lead to when bills come up or when other things come up, you don't know how to handle it because y'all just used to screaming at one another instead of literally hearing each other out or squashing it. Like when we go to bed, we going to bed. Tonight I'm through with this. Not getting up tomorrow and we still talking about it. Right. Give me 4 days later or 3 weeks later we bringing up old stuff. That used to be me. I used to be the one because I found out due to my personality type. You know, we talked about the Enneagram, and I'm a type 2. That's a lover, giver, helper, but I'm one, and this was the example my therapist gave me. She said when you get into it with somebody on your texting them or talking to them, do you go back and chronologically list everything they ever did?
Oh, wow.
And I said, oh, my God. I said so because I'll be like, because November of 2016, you said, and then in January, you were supposed to do it, and you didn't. She said, you come off as an actor. Like, you may not realize it, but you can sit up and bring up stuff, old stuff, whenever something fresh pop off. And that was something I had to learn about myself because I am one of those, I'll be the one, I'll go long in a text. Oh, no, because this is how I feel, and you did, and whoop. Yeah. Now, I just put the letter K and be done. So if they
I know. I let them know you're mad. If you just put K, you don't even say okay. You just say K. They automatically know you're mad.
Well, I used to be the girl. I used to be the girl that, okay, my mouth, I had to get it out. I had to let you know what I was feeling. But then I felt like that's where a lot of my whoopings came from these relationships. I didn't know how to control my mouth. And my dad used to say the same thing. If you just shut your mouth, you know. And so when I got into this relationship, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try something different. I'm going to calm down. We get into an argument. So what do? I walk into the room. I lay down on the bed. And I just try to find my serenity. I try to be calm. And what happens? Here he comes. Well, why aren't you talking to me? well, what's going on? And I'm like, really? Like, I don't even know what to say about you people anymore. I'm going to see it's not me. If I open my mouth, then he'll say, well, I hate it when you just don't talk. You just shut down and you don't say anything. I'm like, because I was told that I ran my mouth too much before. So what do you people want from me?
Yeah.
That whole catch-22. But yeah, so I was one of those that I had to learn. That was something that I found out about myself that I needed to do better was I may think it's constructive and it's not. And then a lot of times I may feel like I'm like you, LaDonna, need the last word, or I got to seem like I'm the smartest, so I just drop this knowledge on you real quick. But now it's not even worth all of that because I can agree to disagree and keep it moving. Like if I see that we're not going to come to a common ground, I'm done with it. It's okay. But I do know before we go to sleep at night, we need to kill it. We need whatever it is because you're not sleeping on the couch. You're not sleeping at your boy house. I ain't going nowhere. We here, so we need to be done. And when we wake up in the morning, we good. Like those are things that I had to learn that, again, carrying and harboring stuff. And if I say I let it go, if I say I forgave you, if I say it's over with, I don't need to be bringing it up 3 months later. Unless it's a negative pattern of behavior that needs to be dealt with.
You have to figure out what's important to. We're not going to make a mountain out of a molehill. What's important? Right. What's the battle going to be? Is it worth it? Is it worth even taking it to a level up? You know.
That's right. And then going back to the Psychology Today article about the top 4 things that in relationships. The number 4 thing was infidelity, but what's amazing is it wasn't number 1. And statistically, it's not number 1. People can work through infidelity before they can work through money issues.
Absolutely right.
Before they can work through money issues or feeling not valued or appreciated, they can work through getting cheated on. And so
that's
this
just
is the
crazy
statistic.
to me. I don't know.
It says the relationship may still survive, but it will forever have a broken part, which I believe 100%.
Yes.
About 19% of men and 12.3% of women have reported that they've had sex outside of their marriage, and that's according to the 2012 General Social Survey. The University of Denver studied almost 1,000 unmarried couples in committed opposite-sex relationships and found that 14% had sex outside of the relationship over a 21-month period. And 43% of those couples' relationship had ended because of infidelity. And this is sex. This is not emotional affairs, which also can be just as detrimental, which women tend to be more, report more of actually having emotional affairs and online alliances that can also damage relationships. And we actually did another show where we asked the man, what would you prefer? Would you prefer your wife to cheat emotionally or to cheat physically? And 9 times out of 10, they're going to say physically. Because the emotional attachment, 9 times out of 10, will lead you can't get through that. Because if she's in love, if she is now bonded with someone else just emotionally, that is worse than her stepping out on you physically for a hit it, quit it, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, and that's it.
And can I say this? And I've had this conversation. It wasn't even that long ago. We've had this conversation about men and women cheat for two completely different reasons. Men cheat out of physical attraction. You know, they're attracted physically to a woman. You know, they want the sex. It's completely different when a woman cheats. It's like she's had enough. Somebody's given her conversation that she likes. They're complimenting her, and then she starts to have a different kind of affair. And like you said, it's an emotional affair where you're done with your partner. But your partner's not done with you because he still loves you. I guess this is what they say. He still loves you. He was just trying to have a physical, with somebody else. But when we're done, we're done.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, I can see where it would be an emotional, they wouldn't want us to have an emotional relationship.
Yeah. I agree.
Listen, now you know what? I've been in a predicament where I've worked through cheating. And
well, who hasn't? Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, I've been there where I had to work through cheating. I've been there where I've cheated with someone, and I don't know if it's cheating because we were dating, but where I wasn't faithful to someone I was dating. I haven't cheated in a monogamous relationship, like a monogamous committed relationship, but I have stepped out while dating. And I've been stepped out on in a monogamous committed relationship. And one thing that I can say is, you know, I had contemplated potentially trying to work through that thing. But the more that I got to thinking about how much effort it takes for you to carry on a full-fledged relationship while you're in a full-fledged relationship, and how much disrespect and lies and just all of that comes with cheating, because you don't just cheat. You have to purposely lie. You have to purposely manipulate. You have to purposely, there's so many things that go into you carrying on a relationship while you're in a relationship. The fact that you may be having unprotected sex with someone else and bringing that mess home. The fact that you have the audacity to kiss me with the same lips you kissed her with. Or the audacity that you probably had to dog me out to her just to cover your tracks. Or the audacity that you say to me, but I love you and I want to be with you, but yet you was loving on this chick for months. Or carrying on with somebody.
Somebody better come pick me up. Y'all better hurry up. If I ever put 911 in a kid, baby, hurry up. Come pick me up. Well, that's
but you love me, though. And, you know,
you better come pick me up. That's what y'all better do.
Some people say, well, if I found that out, I'd put my hands on him and wear him out. But when I found out that I was being cheated on, and I actually talked to, it's been 3 occasions for me, but the most recent one, I actually talked to the girl, the woman, she was older than me by about 7, 8 years, I don't even remember now, but 13 years, I do remember. She contacted and reached out to me, and the pain in her voice, when the reality of hearing that, yes, he's quote unquote been with me for this period of time, she cried to where I cried. We cried together for being played, period. That's what came out, because we were both played. So I'm not mad. I ain't going to go whoop your tail because you can't steal something that was already up for sale and bought freely. So, again, she didn't steal my man. He was already up for sale, obviously, because there would have been nothing that she could have done for him to step if he wasn't willing or open to step. So I can't be mad at you. And then I say, well, can I be mad at him for doing what he did? And I wasn't even mad. I was disappointed and I was hurt, and then I was disappointed again. And so then
you got mad.
But the whole process, I was surprised I didn't get mad, because you know what? I always look at, did I have signs? Were there things there? For me, I think I trusted too much. I trusted too blindly. But I thank God that I found out. Because how stupid would I have looked a year into it, or a marriage later, or 2 years into it, and then it came out. So then I believed. And even though, I love him, you don't just fall out of love just because somebody did you wrong. That doesn't happen like that. But I never was angry. I was disappointed. And I think, for me, I didn't want to do all the fighting and fussing. I just want that part of my life to be done. I just needed that hurt to be done. And even though some people can work through it, and I probably could have tried to work through it, at that time I just realized that his infidelity was killing me. Like, literally I was dying. Because now I'm second-guessing everything about me. Why wasn't I? Because then you go to yourself, which you should not do. But what wasn't I doing? Was it because I wasn't doing this, or is it because I'm not the complexion she was, because she wasn't of my race? Was it because...
Yeah, start breaking you down.
Is it my shape? Is it this? Am I not cooking it? And I couldn't keep doing myself like that. I just... And so I say this to people that may be listening that might have been in those type of relationships or is in something like that. You deserve to know that if somebody is not pleased with where you're at in a relationship, that they have the balls to tell you that they have enough respect to say, look, this is not what I want, or this is not giving me what I need, to at least give you the opportunity to tell you to your face what can potentially be done if that's the type of case it is. But it's not okay for someone to cheat. It's not okay for it to be, oh, well, it was just that one time and it carried on for months. It's not okay for you to then feel like it's all you. Because, again, nobody can steal something that's already up for sale. They just can't. And if they didn't want you to be a victim of robbery, they would have never brought the thief to your home. And so, again, I just say this out of love. You're going to feel some type of way. It's normal. It's okay. But don't stay that way. And don't feel like the next relationship you get in, you ought to tolerate that. Because some people have worked through infidelity and they've gone on, but that shouldn't be a norm. It shouldn't be a norm that relationship you get in, you looking forward to something. Oh, that's what they all do. They all cheat, girl. I even had some relatives call me and say, you all right, that's what men do. You ought to feel honored that he blah, blah. Huh?
Oh,
I ought to feel good. No, I ought not feel like that. Because there's been times in relationships where I have felt that I needed more or wanted more, but I didn't step out. So that can't be the excuse as to why it's done. So I just share that personal time of grief just to say we deserve better, because real love doesn't hurt, and it shouldn't hurt, to where, again, we're saying that it's okay. And now what we do is we settle for that mess because we feel like, well, this is the type of men that I've been attracted to or allowed myself to get connected to, and this happens all the time. My mother and them cheated. My father cheated. My aunt, uncle, they do this back and forth. They've been together 20 years. That don't make it okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it okay. So infidelity is on there as reasons that relationships fail, but unbeknownst to me, it's not number one. So and I think when you look at the 4 reasons that they gave, when it starts with selfishness, narcissism, unbalanced, those things lead to the infidelity is how I feel. That's why it's not number one. So you might have the breakup of all these other things. You don't communicate, which, again, communication is key so that people can know what does it take to love you. You can't assume that everyone knows what you need to feel loved, because love is defined differently by different people based on their experience and their upbringing. So you have to tell people how to love you. And once we start communicating what you need and what you want, then you can start measuring out a person whether or not this is the one for you, because you've communicated what your basic need of love and what that looks like for you. So this subject, why relationships fail, we've all been in relationships that failed. That's for sure. And I was watching a little video, 2 videos on Facebook. One is, I need to share. One is a guy, they call him Lala, and his wife Louise, and they were married 59 years. And after she passed, he turned his shed into like a little museum of all their pictures, and they used to dance and this and that. And he was just talking about the love that they shared, and just the twinkle in his eye and the quiver in his voice, that journey of love. I mean, it just brought a tear to your eye. Then there was another video of a couple. She was 93 years old, and her husband was singing to her. She was dying, but he was singing their favorite song.
I've seen that. Wasn't that wonderful?
Oh, my God. I
cried.
I was choking so bad and crying so bad. I was just like,
I literally just watched it an hour ago. I was showing Chad. I was like, this is the sweetest thing ever.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and share it on our page so that our listeners can also see and experience. And I won't get 60 years. I'm at an age where I won't get 60 years of marriage. But if I could just get whatever amount of time God allows me to experience that genuine, unadulterated, unfiltered, and unconditional love, is more than any amount of money can give me if I got the money and I'm all alone. The two don't, you can't even compare the two. That's why there's so many millionaires killing themselves today, because they can have all the money in the world and be just as empty as inside.
Right.
So, again, I think the importance of knowing why relationships fail is so that if you're single, if you're going into something, you can kind of curtail and know how to deal with those things beforehand. And if you're already in a relationship and know why relationships fail, you can be proactive within your relationship of kind of doing a self-assessment. Are we good? Like, do you feel we communicate? You know, do you feel valued? Do you feel appreciated? Are there things you would like to see us do? Being able to have those conversations while you're in relationships just to build and to become stronger within the relationship are important. So as we get ready to close on this particular topic, I just wanted to open the floor. Ladies, does anybody have any kind of quick takeaways or lessons learned that you've learned in previous relationships or current relationships that you think will help somebody else? Just a quick tip that you might leave somebody.
Carolyn, go ahead.
You go ahead. I'm still over here pondering.
I have so many things that I've learned. It's hard to narrow down to one, but if I could, I would love to say communication. That's one of my biggest issues, so that's not one. Yeah, I don't know. I just couldn't narrow it down.
Well, communication is very important, and I think communication is important, and I think trusting in the fact that you can experience a healthy love journey. And I think so many times, especially if you've been abused or if you still have different things you have not dealt with through yet, you don't trust in the fact that you can really experience a love journey. And I think just having the hope that you can experience that will be yours one day, and being patient with that is huge. Just trust in the fact that it can happen and you can enjoy the love journey as it is unraveling. Again, we want to thank you so much for everyone that has tuned in again for another episode of Our Journey Alive with LaDonna, my girl Carolyn, and our project, Our Journey Alive docu-reality series. You can catch the pilot episode on our YouTube channel. Also, if you have any additional topics that you'd like us to discuss, or if you have a book or any other services that you provide, please contact us at our email, ourjourneyalive@gmail.com, or you can go ahead and go to any of our pages on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook at Our Journey Alive and share out. Get other survivors, get other listeners to chime in with us. We're also located online, which our link will then take you directly to all of the episodes that we've recorded since our premiere on June 19th. And that is Spreaker, and that is SPREAKER.com/our-journey-alive-OJA, and you can hear all of the episodes. And again, every Monday we drop a fresh topic for you all. Thank you so much for listening and for supporting the movement. And as we say, hashtag get loud, get out. Real love doesn't hurt.
So amazing how you came and shed your light on cloudy days, and you remain the same, and I'm glad that you came down, 'cause I'm saved. So amazing how you came and shed your light on cloudy days, and you remain the same, and I'm glad that you came down, 'cause I'm saved.